Hello everyone, this is Silviu from Goatea Productions, and today we're here to talk about games for toddlers. Now let me preface this with my reason for making this series. It's to remind everyone that our hobby isn't only for entertainment. It can do much more than that. I also want to give some ammunition for when you come across someone who refuses to see the good in games. Anyways, on with the episode. I'm sure a lot of us know someone who has a child 1 to 2 years old, and if you do, you know that they can sometimes get a bit out of hand being fussy or bored. A few years ago, this would have meant that their parents would have had to pay attention to them to get them to stop acting this way. But nowadays, we live in an age where we can reach for your smartphone and provide hours of entertainment for little children, or even big children, or even adults for that matter. But is this a good thing or not? After all, you're supposed to spend as much time with your children to ensure that they develop properly, right? If you actually have children though, or know anyone that does, you know that there are other things that can pile up and you may not always be able to give them your full attention. So what do? You leave them alone with a game or a video to be entertained. But here's the question, how does this affect them? Will it turn them into a socially awkward introvert? Short answer, no. Long answer, of course not. Time alone, as long as it's provided proportionally for someone's age, is almost always required. As much fun as you have with your friends, you usually don't want them around when you have to write up a business report or when you have a project deadline looming overhead. So how does this relate to games then? Well, a video is great, but children tend to get bored if they don't have something to do with what's going on. They want to actively participate. So what medium allows them to interact with their stimuli? Well, video games, of course. After doing a bit of research, asking others with little children what apps or games they like to play with, if any, I found that there are really two qualities that children's games employ: association and knowledge. These two aspects are not only found in children's games, they're mutual to pretty much every genre, but they work particularly well in children's games because they're low-level game mechanics. When I say knowledge though, I'm referring to it in the way that we would, by knowing facts. Games that apply the knowledge aspect of their games more heavily tend to fall into the category of educational games and are often less engaging with children. I'm going to talk about a few games which, I believe, are good examples of each of these characteristics. All the games I'm going to be talking about are available for free, either on the Android Marketplace or the App Store, so download them and take a look. The first, called Peekaboo Barn, is as straightforward as they come. It starts out with a barn, and then you tap the screen and the doors open, revealing an animal along with the toddler saying the name of that animal. Not really much to it. It teaches the child what the animal is and associates it with a given sound. An interesting thing to note is that out of all the games that I had some children play, they got bored of this one the fastest. The second game, Pocket Pond, is a bit more substance to it though. On the surface, it seems like a simple game. You touch the screen and creating ripples and fish swim away. Why does this matter, and more importantly, why would this matter to any children playing? It's not the fact that the fish move, but rather, it's how they move. When hitting a single point, the fish move directly away from that point. Likewise, if you draw a line across the screen, then the fish move away in a motion directly perpendicular to the line. In other words, it's how the fish would actually respond had you done this in real life. This game isn't just a distraction for your children, it's a lesson in kinematics. Wow, how many parents can say that? I gave my children their very first physics lesson when they were only 1. This game falls into the association category. It's allowing children to make connections between his or her actions and what happens in real life. The third one, and I'm going to be honest here, I kind of dropped the ball. I don't know the name of this app, all I know is that it was on the Android market. It was on the phone of a friend of mine who has long since deleted it from her phone. Nonetheless, the points I'm going to make about it are still valid. In this game, there were various colored bubbles moving across the screen. As you tapped one, it would pop, revealing an animal and what sound it makes. So far, very similar to Peekaboo Barn. What's the difference though? Well, I'll tell you. It's the same animal for each colored bubble. The music in the background and the motion and the different colors make it very appealing to a child, but their actions are always repeatable, and they begin to associate one bubble with one animal. Every red bubble will have a pig, every blue bubble will have a cow, and the child can begin to see what kind of consequences each action will have, much like Pocket Pond. By combining stimulating gameplay, for a child that is, with the two fundamental qualities of child games, you can create an experience for children that is not only fun for them, but is also remarkably beneficial in the long run, teaching them how to associate with their surroundings, general facts that they will have to learn in life, and all while doing it in a way that gets them thinking and participating. I mentioned before that Peekaboo Barn was the least engaging of the 3 games, followed by Pocket Pond, and finally our mysterious bubble game. This just goes to show you that not only are games that combine associative qualities with knowledge-based qualities the best designed, they're also the most favored. How about that The most effective game at teaching is also the most fun. Just something to think about. So next time you want to keep your child occupied with a digital plaything, remember that it's more than just a distraction to them. It's a way for them to begin to understand how life works, and what game you pick for them can have a remarkable effect. So choose wisely, and just keep that in mind. Next episode though, something that has a little bit less to do with children. I'll see you next time.